those that are throwing out drop trays, Ray, do you chuck out trays just to see what's going on at the front at all?
No.
No. You're pretty happy. You're comfortable that there's not much.
I just believe in this sort of country down here, we don't have the problem the wheat mill has.
Yep, right.
You look at it. You look at the crops we drove through here this morning.
Yep. Yeah. I reckon there's argument to have just to at least check it, particularly with canola. I reckon you can probably lose a bit, particularly on drapers where you've got a transition in the belt. You can often lose some material there. So how do we measure losses off the front? Well, it would be nice to make it as easy as what we do down the back, but unfortunately we're left to scratch around on the ground. So the best way to do it is to either travel along, pull up, get out and have a bit of a look at what's on the ground. But the first thing we need to do is actually do a pre-evaluation. Before you even put the harvester in the paddock, you want to know how much grain's on the ground. There might be some shattering or some shedding, so there could be some material on the ground. So you need a baseline, so you need to be able to deduct that. So there's some pretty low-tech approaches. We just use sheets of 16mm plywood. We throw them down and go and scratch around underneath after the front's gone over it. And in a situation where the machine's operating and continuing on, we just throw the trays or the plates down as the front goes over, and then scrape the residue off the top and have a look in underneath the plates. But the drop trays make it a whole lot easier too. So as we mentioned before, you can attach those to the front, drop them off. And then as the machine continues on, you just the residue from the rest of the machine will land in the tray. But in terms of evaluating what's lost from the front, well, we're going to look underneath the tray. You with me there? Comfortable with that? So, and if we then take off what we've worked out was lost on the ground before we even put the harvester in the paddock, you get an idea as to how many losses you got just from the front. What do we do about losses from the front? In a lot of cases, extensions on the fingers, or we've got duck feed or core flute. Anyone use anything like that on the reel? Just to try and sweep material in. I think the crop's probably heavy enough here, you don't have too many light ones. Is that right? Yeah. Great problem to have, isn't it? In light crops there are some options, and we spoke yesterday with the guys down south a little bit about the options for sweeping more grain in. We talked about using core flute and a few things like that, so something to bear in mind if you do come into that sort of situation.